From family events to volunteer opportunities to community happenings, there is a lot going on in your community. Learn about all the possibilities and opportunities on this episode of Community Hotline.
Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we're here at Metro East Community Media. Tonight we're having the very special edition of The Pulse, which is a Community Hotline segment that I share with my co-host, Denise Kowalczyk. Welcome, Denise.
Hi, Monica. How are you today?
Good, good. It's fun to be back on the air again.
It's been like 3 months, right?
Yeah,
We do this
3
every
months.
3 months.
Every quarter, we get together and talk about all the cool stuff happening at Metro East and KZME.
And this is the end of the year, so we get to sort of reflect back on what a fabulous year we've had. But we'll get to that. I'm getting ahead of myself.
It was a good year, though. It was a good year.
Well, 2012 is going to be a good year as well, and I'll tell you, we'll touch base on a few of those things tonight. But the first thing I want to mention is that have you heard us talking about East Side Stories?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's going to be very cool.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission funded project.
Thank you, MHCRC.
Yes, indeed, and I do believe we got purchased a whole bunch of these little handheld cameras
With really cute, colorful,
fashionable
fashionable
colors.
cases for them.
And we're going to teach community how to operate the camera so they can tell their stories. And then we're going to put those stories on a digital media map.
It's going to be cool.
It's going to be very cool.
So people out there, maybe people that have never been to Metro East or taken any of our classes, learned how to make TV shows, can learn how to use media. Simple, quick, easy, and get it out there and tell their stories about the East Side.
Exactly, and there's going to be themes. We're going to make it real easy for folks. Train them, give them topics to consider, to talk about, and tell their stories. And there's a planning committee, but the number one person to connect with is Taj Middleton. She's the contact person to help facilitating connecting folks with the project.
And we'll get to meet her later tonight.
We
Yay! Okay, good. Now, besides that, we always have lots of fun productions going on here. One thing that's coming up soon is basketball.
Yes.
We now have basketball again. Last year was the first year that we had done sports coverage for a very, very long time. And I talked with Keith today. Keith Thomas is he's the producer of the basketball series, and he has commitments from Reynolds High School, Centennial High School, Central Catholic, and Gresham so far to tape their basketball, boys and girls, I believe. And they have a new set. They have splashy new graphics that they're going to be doing, and they have a pretty good crew, but they have a very good crew, but they are pretty set, but they could probably use a few more volunteers. So if people are interested, they're going to have a training on the 5th of January at 6 p.m. here at Metro East.
Great.
And if people want to find out about that and register to become involved, they can give me a call.
My question is this. I saw Keith with a camera and his cohort, Peter, with a little remote control car is that anything to do with basketball? Am I totally making that up?
Maybe they're learning some skills about taping something moving fast.
There you go. That's a good
I'm
answer.
guessing. And the skills you would learn on basketball production, it's very challenging to tape sports. And so that's something you could use on pretty much any other production.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, yeah.
Well, another thing, we have tons of things that go on over the course of the year, but we also have Mount Hood Pop Orchestra. We go out, and that's pretty much a volunteer crew, if I'm not mistaken.
With a little staff help.
With little staff assistants to go out to a variety of those performances, and then we put that content, that programming up on our channels. And we'll be back in about 3 more months to talk about other cool things, so there's a lot of great things. But another really fabulous program is our youth media program.
It's going great guns.
It is amazing how much fun that all these kids are having, as well as the staff involved in that. So there's
it's fun having all those kids in the studio, and they're very creative.
They're fun. They're having a good time. They're picking up cameras. They're learning how to operate them and tell the stories. We also go out in the field, out to various schools to teach youth how how to use that. And in a moment, we're going to see some clips from a couple of students, or I should say a few of the students from CAL, the Center for Advanced Learning.
Right, right.
And this is a segment, there are 2 videos produced by the digital media and design students at CAL in collaboration with the Metro East Youth Media Program. One is called How to Make an Animation, and one is called Longboarding.
Let's take a look. Yeah. Okay.
All movies start with an idea, and from that idea spawns a script. Every movie has to have a script. If it doesn't, the movie will not progress and will not make sense. After you have your script, you need a storyboard. This is the most important step other than animating the actual scenes. The reason this step is so crucial is because the animator needs to cut out any unwanted or unneeded scenes. It's much cheaper to cut a storyboard that took a few seconds to make rather than a short clip of animation that took weeks to make. Now it's time to make the rough animation. A rough animation is where you sketch what will later be the final animation. Back when animation was hand-drawn frame by frame, the key animator would animate the character similar to what is being seen on the screen now. Once that was finished, it would go to the final animation artist to be cleaned up. Now we clean up the animation and do the backgrounds. This is where we see what the final product will look like. With the technology we have today, we can animate in 3D. It's a lot like 2D animation, but you deal with keyframes. Keyframes tell the computer that at a certain point in the timeline, we want the character to look a certain way, and at another point in the timeline, we want the character to look another way. Then the computer creates the character moving from the first point to the second point. Now you can kick back and watch your animation.
Very cool indeed.
You know, speaking of youth, our floor director tonight, Titus Edelman, is from Alpha High School, and he is an intern here. So good job tonight, Titus.
Yes, well done indeed. You know, we partner with schools in our youth media program, and I wanted to also share that we partner with local community organizations, providing support in trying to get the word out about what these organizations are doing. And some of our ongoing partnerships are Portland Columbia Symphony Orchestra,
Right.
the Mountain Hood Pops Orchestra, as well as the Gresham Area Chamber of Commerce. So we're very thrilled about that. We'll be talking about KZME later on in the show, but I was looking forward to this, and this is sort of our year in review. We're going to take a look at some photographs of some really fun events coming up. Yeah.
Let's take a look at them now and see what we've got.
It's been a fun year, indeed a fun year.
Yeah, it's been really fun. So we had the Teddy Bear Parade.
The Teddy Bear Parade.
Which we both walked in and your daughter walked with us,
Yes.
and we had a whole bunch of people walking in that teddy bear parade. That was very fun.
It was indeed a great time,
there it
and
is.
there's some photographs right
Jen
now.
with the big bear.
Yes, indeed, and a big shout out to John Lugton and Lauren. And Lauren designed the camera that he wore, and John wore the camera in the parade. But we had quite the group there. It was
there's John on the
there's John
camera.
right now.
Yeah, he hammed it up pretty good for that.
He was pretty the hit of the parade.
He was
there, I
very
think.
popular. That was great fun.
So it was great, good time. We had beautiful weather, and of course we videotape that fabulous parade every year and show that. And now another fine event.
The Gresham Art Walk.
The Gresham Art Walk, indeed. We had a very broad partnership with them this year. By
Julia Reese, she was our intern, and she was doing Facebook postings from there, and we tabled.
Indeed, and we did a radio remote broadcast from downtown Gresham the day of that event.
That was the first one ever, wasn't it?
It was
First
indeed
remote?
with our former broadcast partner, KMHD2.
Right.
So it was a lot of fun at Gresham Art Walk. Beautiful art. I think it was the 10th year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it was 10
Yeah,
years
yeah.
that they've been doing this fine event, and it started off rainy, but it dried up nicely, got sunny. We had a chance to take a look at some great art.
Yeah.
So, and of course the face painting and such. I'm not sure, what is that, lawn ornaments?
Yeah, lawn ornaments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lawn
I thought
art.
I thought they were pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Very
good.
colorful.
Yeah, indeed.
Then we had a thing at Ron Tom's, right?
Yes, and here's the mayor and Tam
Oh, this
Driscoll
is still-
from,
oh,
this is still
yeah,
at the Gresham
still at
Art
Gresham
Walk.
Art Walk. Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
here
there
we
you
go.
are.
Oh yes, Ron Tom's. That was someone from Priory, a local indie pop band here in Portland. We worked with Ron Tom's to do a live broadcast, during Music Fest Northwest. And we had some KZME DJs down there as well. Oh, there's one. There's Lex from the Magic Number. And we listened to some live music as it was happening down at this venue. And it was pretty gosh darn exciting, especially when John and Dawn had to hover on the curse button at the studio. That's one of the things about live radio. And those rock and roll stars, they have, poetry, and they have ways of expressing. But anyway, it
That
was
looks like a
great
lot of
fun.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of bands there, and we hope to do a lot more of these kinds of things on KZME in the future.
Great, great. Well, speaking of music, we had a show that we did, or series of shows that we did this summer. We had Music Mondays with the Center for the Performing Arts Plaza, and we had a volunteer team down there, and they were taping it, and we were putting it on the air. And I think we have kind of a scenes from that, from the Music Mondays. And so before I send you on your way to come back again
I'll be
later,
back.
I think we should take a look at that
I'd love to.
Music Mondays shoot.
Great.
Okay.
I'm Tony Evans, and I am a staff producer at Metro East Community Media, and I worked as a supervising producer on the Mission Micromobile productions of Music Mondays. The goal of Music Monday was to take some people from the community who had either prior experience or no experience at all working on production crews, and to give them an opportunity to not only work to be trained in workshops, but to go out and get some practical experience by participating and being crew members on a real life production situation over the course of several weeks.
Well, my name is Denise Ingebo, and I'm interested in coming out here and participating in this project because, well, first and foremost, I like the people, the group of people that are here, and it's nice that everybody has a goal, a common goal.
It didn't take them very long to become a cohesive team. I noticed that between the first production and the last production that each team would do, that they showed up as individuals, but by the time that the productions were over with, they were very much a unified team and working together and collaborating and very much functioning as one unit.
The classes at Metro East have given me a good foundation of what is happening with cameras, with audio, with everything that's involved. And then to be able to actually come out and be supervised with trainers and teachers really builds it in, and learning from also the other producers that have a little more knowledge, a little more experience, and that helps you build your knowledge and your skills.
They were able to gain enough experience to see if something did come up that they would be able to handle it themselves, and it's only if they got to the point where they felt that they couldn't handle it themselves that we were called upon. So we were free to kind of hang around in case we needed to put out a fire or
did that ever happen?
Well, on occasion something would come up that we'd need to come in and address.
He was a captain of his vessel.
One thing that to me is really important is working with a crew. These are all new people, and getting to know their specialty, what they're really comfortable with doing. We've got camera people that really design a shot. In directing, combine those two shots to make a comment, make an emotion, and create this. In audio, the mixing of sound, shading. If you're working with heavy sun or something like that, shader's an important position. So I want to be able to contribute my abilities to whatever position, and they're all important.
It's not as scary as it looks. A lot of this equipment looks really intimidating for people who have seen it for the first time, but once you get accustomed to it, you'll find that it's no worse than getting into your car and driving to or from work or whatever. It really becomes more of a creative challenge. And the creative challenges are usually the most fun to overcome once you get past the technical challenges.
I think the orientation gave us enough of a background so that when we got into the actual field work, we were confident. If nothing else, just confident that we could go from one job to the other.
I think my favorite job is all of it. It's all fun, it's all great. It's doing different things, not just the camera, but doing the switcher and the audio and the lights and the setup. Learning everything that goes into making all different types of entertainment.
Oh, I see. My favorite part of the shoot thus far is, I think, the camaraderie and meeting people 2 weeks ago who I didn't know.
I feel like any crew that I would be with would be folks that help each other. And so I would naturally feel comfortable, because anybody that is having or struggling with anything has a lot of help. And if that happened to be me, I wouldn't feel like I would sink on my own.
If I had to sum up my thoughts on Mission Micromobile, I would say that it was an experiment that met with tremendous success. I think that we met with all the goals that we had set out to accomplish when we set this up, and that the participants really came away with some experience that they couldn't get otherwise. And from what I heard from them, that they would love to come back and do this again.
Between music and television, it's my two loves. And mixing the two together, it was an opportunity to really just jump in and do. I've learned how to lead and how to follow and how to get out of the way. And there's nothing like it.